Hi everybody, remember me? It's Renee, Nola Curve. I know it's been a hot minute since I posted a video, huh? I'm gonna give you guys a little update on what's been going on in my life here in the last year or so. I guess let me talk about my mom first. Since I know those of you who were subscribers before, you know that my mother was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer in April of 2018. She went through chemo and radiation, and she did well. She has 3 lesions, 2 of them which have disappeared, and 1 is shrunk by half. She's not in active treatment at the time, but she gets periodic scans just to check that it's not coming back. And so far, it's not. She has another scan scheduled for the end of December, and we'll get an update in the beginning of January, and hopefully we're still good. She had rotator cuff surgery in August, which was it was interesting. She's been going through physical therapy with that, and she's finally starting to feel better about that, and getting more use of her arm. So she's doing well, and we're just gonna keep Mama around for as long as we can. So let's move on to why I'm posting this video. If you can't tell by the title of this video, I have made some pretty life-altering decisions here in the last year or so. I'm going to have weight loss surgery. I'm having a vertical sleeve gastrectomy on January 8th, 2020. So right now I'm 4 weeks pre-op, and I wanted to start using this channel to document that journey. So we're going to change the whole track of this channel. It's going to become about weight loss surgery and what I feel and what I'm doing and all of that stuff. So, but I wanted to give you guys a little history as well and tell you why I'm doing this. So, growing up, I was always on the chubby side. Back in elementary school, I was chubby, and middle school, I was a little bit more chubby, and high school, I was a little bit more chubby, but I was tall. So I weighed probably, when I graduated from high school, I probably weighed about 180 pounds. But at 5'9", looking back, 180 pounds wasn't that bad. I personally, back then, thought I was huge, but I look at pictures of myself from back then, and I realized that I was not huge by any means. And over the years after high school, that weight just kept adding on, and by the time I had my second child at 25, I was probably weighing about 220 pounds. Then, kept gaining after that. By the time I was in my 30s, I was probably weighing, 240, 250. And then in my 40s, it just kept going up and going up and going up. So as of right now, I weigh 290.1. I've done all the diets. I think right after my daughter was born is when I started the diet roller coaster. Before then, I didn't really care about it. But after she was born is when I started my diet roller coaster. That ride that a lot of us take. The Weight Watchers and the Slim Fast and the cabbage soup diets and phentermine even for a little while, and then Weight Watchers again, and curves and gym memberships that I let lapse, and Weight Watchers again, and probably all in all, I have probably joined Weight Watchers 6 to 8 times, maybe more. You know, I'll do well for a little while, and then I'll get tired of tracking, and I'll just get tired of it, and I just would stop. I would lose, and I would gain, and I would lose, and then I would gain a little more, and you know, we all have done it. We've all gone through this same ride. But I was always relatively healthy, even, you know, during it. I never had any real medical issues up until 2006. In June of 2006, I stepped off a curb and I broke my left ankle in 3 places. I had to have emergency surgery to put my ankle and my foot back together. And I have 10 pins and a 6-inch metal plate. And afterwards, it became infected. And so for 9 months, I pretty much lived under pretty much constant medical care because of the infection and problems with bone healing and stuff like that. And then after that, over the years, I have started to develop arthritis in that ankle. Now, way back when I broke my ankle in 2006, I probably was weighing about 240 maybe or so. I was at my late 30s or so. And the doctors back then, my doctor back then told me that if I did not lose weight, I would be in a wheelchair, not a wheelchair, I would be in a walker. I would be using a walker by the time I was 60. And back then, you know, I was in my late 30s. I didn't really care about it. I thought, you know, I've got time. It'll be all right. And, you know, those years just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming, and I kept gaining weight, and the arthritis came, and it's bad to the point where I can't walk for longer than a few hours without pain. I started getting cortisone shots 2 years ago, and the last cortisone shot that I got was in April of this year. And in the past, it had hurt. But it wasn't bad. It was bearable. I could handle it. But this last shot that I got in April of 2019, it fucking hurt. Pardon my French. I screamed bloody murder. And my orthopedic doctor at the time, he's like, okay, this is going to be probably the last time that you can get a cortisone shot, because when it hurts that bad, there's not enough room for the fluid to go into because the arthritis is taken over. So the next step after this is going to be an ankle fusion. You know, and again, you need to lose the weight because that's going to help. So I don't want to have an ankle fusion. If you don't know what an ankle fusion is, pretty much they set your foot in a prone 90-degree angle, and they fuse all of the bones in your ankle so that your foot can't move. I don't want it to do that. So there's that. Then in March of this year, I had a health scare. I was in my craft room, and had been feeling really strange for probably about a week. And that day I had walked from the office where I work to where I park my car, and it's about a 10-minute walk. I got to the car and I felt weird. My chest felt really tight, and I had a little bit of problems breathing. And I drove home still feeling weird, and the whole night it just felt weird. And in the middle of the night, I guess it was probably about 10 or 11 o'clock, I had this pain in my chest, and I thought I was having a heart attack. And so I woke my husband up in the middle of the night, and I said, "There's something wrong. I need to go to the emergency room." So we went, and I spent the day in the cardiac wing. I wasn't having a heart attack. I was having a hiatal hernia, and so thank goodness for that. But anyways, I did all the the heart workup after that, and I got the same spiel that you get. You have to lose the weight, and you have to take care of yourself, and all of that. And so after that, I decided that I needed to do something about it. I'm only 50 years old. I have my family, my children, and my grandchildren. I said I wasn't gonna cry. Excuse me. So I decided that I needed help. I in the past, I hadn't really considered weight loss surgery because I kind of felt like if I couldn't do it on my own, then I was a failure. And I just kind of, now don't jump all over me, because I kind of felt like that it was kind of cheating. But then, afterwards I kind of realized, it's not cheating. The more I learned about it afterward, after I made the decision, the more I learned about it, the more I have realized it's not, because it's probably going to be equally as difficult. But it's a tool, it's something to help. And obviously what I was doing before wasn't doing it. So that's where I'm at. I have made that decision. I sat down and did a bunch of research, and then I sat down with my husband and we talked about it. And he's been awesome. If I have not praised him in the past to you guys, let me just say that he is the best thing that ever happened to me. And he's been wonderful about it. So he's like, do it, and let's do it, and we'll pay for it. We'll pull money out of our savings. We'll pull money out of our 401k if our insurance doesn't cover it. And so let's do it, because he wants me around too. So I called a surgeon and made an appointment and went and talked with him and filled out all the paperwork and found out what I needed to do, and got clearance from my insurance company, which thankfully I'm double covered. So I have insurance through my employer, but I'm also covered under my husband's plan, and my insurance does not cover it, but his does. So there's that. So if I'm looking down, I had made some notes. So where am I at? Okay, so surgery is scheduled on January 8th of 2020. I'm scared. It's major surgery. I'm afraid. I don't do well with prior surgeries in the past, especially with anesthesia. I take a really longer time than average to wake up. And then, there's other fears. My husband is a little bit concerned about other issues afterwards. So just to give you a little background, he had an older sister that had back surgery shortly before he and I met. And he was taking care of her. he had gone, she had been home for a few days, and he had gone to work, and she died. She had a pulmonary embolism. So that's his concern. You know, he's really paranoid about that, and so we're gonna do everything we can. We expressed that fear to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, okay, well, you need to get up and walk, so we'll get you walking right away, which, you know, is something that you got to do after this surgery. So we're gonna be okay there. But Dr. Thomas was really good about trying to ease my husband's fears about that. So, but you know, we're scared, you know, but we're excited. I'm excited at the same time to try something new. I've done a lot of research and watched a lot of YouTube videos, and so there's been some people that I've been watching on YouTube that I've really kind of learned a lot from, and I think one of the ones I've learned the most from has been Finding Elizabeth, and then there's Mini Me in Tennessee, and I feel like because those women are kind of closer to my own age. I'm 50, so they were kind of around that age. I feel, you know, maybe few years younger than that when they had their surgery. So I kind of learned a lot from them. And then Voodoo Queen, or Tanya VSG, or VSG Tanya, mostly because she's from here. She's from New Orleans, so it was kind of neat to find somebody from New Orleans. And then there's Foodie turned Sleevey, that she's also from New Orleans, so I've been watching her videos here recently, and then so that they have helped a lot in getting me information, and just from watching their videos. So anyways, that's it. I'm 4 weeks pre-op today. I'll give you guys, I guess, my stats. My highest weight ever was 300 pounds. That was probably about 2 months ago. Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask. I wanted to share. So after I made that decision to have weight loss surgery, I gained some weight. So when I went to the doctor the first time I went to the doctor, my weight was 287 pounds. And then a few months later, when I went to meet with my nutritionist, I weighed exactly 300 pounds. And I knew during those 3 months or so that I had been kind of letting my eating just go crazy. And I think subconsciously I was like, you know, I'm going to have surgery, so I can kind of eat whatever I want to eat. And then I'll deal with it afterwards. Did that happen to anybody else? Did you kind of feel that way? I kind of got it in check. And so anyways, like I said, but 2 months ago or so, 3 months ago, you know, this whole process has been taking a long time because you got to get all that clearance and stuff from your insurance and do all your psyche evals and an endoscopy and stuff like that. So I started this in April, and it's now going to be January when I have surgery. So anyways, so my weight at first appointment was 287. My highest weight was 300 pounds, and right now, today, I weigh 290.1. So I've been doing really good here, trying to lose a little bit of weight before. I started doing some protein shakes and trying to decide which one I like. And so far, my favorite one is the Premier Protein Peaches and Cream. And so I've been doing that every morning for breakfast, and trying to eat more protein and cut out the carbs. And it's been helping. Oh, my camera's shaking. That's weird. So anyways, that's it. I hope that, you know, I learn a lot over here in the next year or so about me and what this surgery can do to me and for me. And, you know, I hope I can learn from you guys, and maybe we can do it together. So anyways, subscribe if you want to follow this little trip of mine, journey, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. So anyways, that's it. I'm gonna say good night. Thanks for watching. I know it's kind of a long video, but anyways, you know how I'm gonna say good night, and we'll let the good times roll down that skinny road. Bye.